can you afford to be clueless about your customer service? I tell you what, if you don't give great service, your competition will love you for it, because you know what? They will not wait. They will just go down the road and they will actually let you go to the competition and spend your money out there. Isn't it great when you don't give great service? Somebody else will really appreciate. And I think it's a little bit of something, a similar story that we've got today, haven't we, Rikki? Hello, Rikki.
Hi, Claire. Good to be here.
Lovely to have you here, Rikki. So we know each other through PSA, and we've been doing a lot of coffee conversation this year and keeping ourselves together. So you're a keynote speaker, Rikki. What do you specialize in?
I speak mostly about transgender issues, so
Okay.
trying to get people to understand its diversity, difference. My sort of passion is about trying to create a fairer world where everyone has a voice. So I also talk about public speaking, which I've been doing for a long time.
Long time.
40 years public
Oh,
speaking.
wow. Yeah, that long, very long time. Yeah, it is something you're passionate about, isn't it? You've got something.
I love it. Well, I set up the PSA because of that passion, because there wasn't anything to help people who wanted to build a career. There was lots of places to learn how to speak, but not how to use it in business. And that's how the PSA is helping. And I'm loving the fact that we've been able to really grasp this online environment and help lots of speakers to just, with our, weekly coffee and conversation, it helps people to grow their confidence, become better online. And it's all good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it's also giving us, it's that tribe, isn't it? It's
Absolutely,
having people around you and surrounding with people around you. So you mentioned, you said, oh, anybody who needs some help. And I said, oh, I want some interviews. Let me come and tell me some stories. And you said, I've got a good story, customer service story for you, Claire, haven't you? So what is your story?
Well, I've been involved with associations for a long time, and I was heavily involved in the Life Insurance Association, and the Director General there shifted to run the Institute of Sales and Marketing Management back in the early 90s, and it was literally dying on its feet. So they said, can you come back in, do some speeches around the regions and everything else? And so they'd organized and arranged this big promotional event to try and get into companies and get them all involved. It was down in St. Albans. And they picked the 4-star hotel, the best hotel in St. Albans, and it was all arranged to go there. And then I got a note saying, we can't really afford to put the speakers up at that hotel. It's really expensive. So we've arranged for you to stay at the Albury Park Hotel, which was basically a hotel for salespeople. This is a hotel that largely people just pile into at sort of 5-6 o'clock at night, having had a really tough day on the road, and they want to feel comfortable. So I thought, oh God, well, I had really low expectations. I've been to travel lodges and things before, and I thought that's what we were going to get. So I rack up to this small hotel, a nice little car park, grab my bag, walk up to the door, and suddenly the door is opened. Oh, please, welcome, do come in. And this lady, I thought, oh, well, that's not usual for a hotel. So already I'm thinking, oh, that's quite nice. So I stood at the queue, and there was quite a few people trying to register. So I'm just standing there waiting. And, you can get a little bit sort of irritated when you're waiting, for God's sake. But no, this lady who'd opened the door suddenly arrived with a tray. And she said, would you like a glass of brandy or a glass of sherry while you check in?
Wow.
I said, oh, that's very nice indeed. I took my glass of sherry and just slowly consumed my glass of sherry. Before I knew what had happened, I'm up ready to check in. I'm thinking, I checked in. I went to grab my bag, and my bag had gone. And there's this old gentleman said, do follow me. I'll show you to your room. And off I went, brandy or glass of sherry, I think I had in hand, wandering off to my room. He showed me. And he actually did he opened the curtains. He showed me where everything was in the room. I gave him a tip, and he was very helpful. Thank you very much indeed. And my impression of everything was so amazing. And 15 minutes after sitting in my room, the phone rang, and I thought, just checking to see that everything's okay with the room. Is there anything else we can do? I thought, it's just
4-star service there.
It's literally, we're talking 5-star service in a 3-star hotel. Because I went down for a meal with all the other speakers that were there. The table was a bit wobbly, but who cares? Already now we loved it. We'd seen the manager complimenting staff as they walked around on how well they were doing their job. Thought, this really is amazing. So the following day, we all trotted off down into St Albans to this 4-star hotel, and there's a notice on the door as we arrived. It said, "Please note, coffee will only be served to patrons." Okay.
Welcome. That makes you.
We walked through the door. The receptionist looked across and said, "Excuse me. You with the Institute of Sales and Marketing, are you in this room? Can you please, there's somebody about a video. Will you sort it out?"
Oh la la.
For the rest of the day, everything took forever. It's as if they didn't want to tell us that the whole place had a vibrancy of dullness, even though it was actually well decorated. It felt dull, and the staff were dull. Nobody smiled. The whole place was. It was the kind of place you think, they're charging 3-4 times as much per room as the Albury Park Hotel. We'd gone there because it was in the middle of the town, because they had better conference facilities. But, and so the thing is, after this, I was so stunned by that complete contrast. I thought, well, how did the Albury Park do that?
Yeah.
So I went back to the Albury Park Hotel, and I just literally had to be in that region, and I automatically booked into it because it had been so good. And I had a chat with the manager. I said, look, and it turned out he was the manager, but he just absolutely loved hotel business. And I said, how do you deliver that level of service? He said, it costs me nothing. I said, what do you mean? He said, it's costing me a bottle of brandy and a bottle of sherry a week just to give people a little glass of something coming in. He said, it's a few pounds. Just to make people feel good. So the guy who took your room, he comes in part-time from around about 4 o'clock until 6 o'clock when most of the guests arrive, and takes them into the room. He gets tips. I don't pay him anything. He absolutely enjoys the company, and it's just something for him to come down to every day and talk to people and and he was a very chatty old guy. And I thought, well, that is absolutely amazing. You can do it. He said, complimenting staff, it just makes them feel better. And I just thought, I carried on using it. And it's a long time. I've not been in that area for a long, long time, but knowing we were going to be talking about this, I popped online just now to see, is it still there? It is. And not only that, they've got, it's immediately popped up on screen was a whole thing saying, "Dear friends of Albury Park Hotel, we're sorry, but due to government regulations, we're having to restrict things now. You can come and stay with us for this." And there's a whole list of reasons why you can come and stay. For those of you that would like a leisure break, we're so sorry, but please, we will be back. And we look forward to welcome. I thought, it's a difficult time, tough times for them. But what they've done is something that says we're still the same hotel. And I thought, this is like 30 years on. It's still the same quality service, the same type of hotel, still the place I would go and stop if I'm going anywhere near Hemel Hempstead or St Albans again.
Yeah, and that you would recommend for sure. Absolutely. I mean, it's something like that. Just talking about it, I want to go and stay there. Just listening to your story, because you don't want to be. I certainly won't be staying at the other one for sure. Just because of that, the whole description, it just makes me feel that no one really cares at all in that big 4-star hotel, and just think that twice or 3 times the price, and there's no service. There's no. It
is so easy to give good service, isn't it? I think the thing I'm sure that there are hotels that charge a lot of money that provide, and I've stayed at some big hotels in America and Vegas and things where you do get that level of service, but then you're paying £500-600 a night for it, so you expect to get it. This was a travel hotel. It's no good me taking the prices now because this was a long time ago, but it's a basics good hotel, and I suspect today it's still probably no more than £100 a night. It's that kind of place. But if you're going to a hotel, it's a 3-star hotel, you have a level of expectation of what's going to happen, and all they did was exceed it.
Well, that's exactly what I had in mind as you were talking. I thought, number one, I mean, it doesn't cost anything.
No,
That's the thing. It doesn't cost anything to have a smile, to make an eye contact, to say hello, to be chatty and just friendly. That doesn't cost anything. And then, yes, a bottle of cherry. So what? You know, number two, yes, it's about not just actually meeting expectation, but exceeding them by just every single little step that you do. And I think number three, it's something that you said when you were reading also the comment that they've put on their website is treat your customers as your friends.
yeah,
This is just as simple. Treat your customers as, you're welcoming them into your home, and especially when it's a hotel, they're coming through your doors. Let me get you your jacket. What can I do for you? Those kind of little attentions make people feel like they're becoming friend. They're becoming part of the family. And that's why people want to go back. They want to recommend. They want to, really kind of make the effort to tell the world to go into that hotel. And that's very special, isn't it?
it is, yes.
Very, very.
I think it's what you mentioned at the beginning when we were talking about the coffee and conversation stuff. It's about a tribe. And I think this is what the Albury Park has done. They created a tribe.
Yeah.
And these are people who are regularly on the road. They're traveling around there. And, I found that I would always, if I needed to be anywhere within 40 or 50 miles of that hotel, that's where I would stay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, I'd be happy to stay there and have to travel
Right.
for half an hour afterwards.
Yeah. Just to stay with them. Yeah.
Because then I know I'm going to have a good night. So it's
yeah. Well, thank you very much, Rikki, for your story. I absolutely loved it. If anybody wants to get in touch with you or come and check out your website, where do they find you?
okay. There's two places, rikkiarundel.com. That one's I'm in the middle of just upgrading at the moment because it's been a bit long. Or genderspeaker.com, and they can find all sorts of information about the gender training work I do.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much. If you want to watch more videos, click here on that little button and watch the other videos. There's loads of other stories, some good, some bad, but some very exceptionals too. Rikki, thank you very much. I'll speak to you very soon. Bye.
My pleasure. Take care, Claire.
Bye.